women, alumni for 1999, but also the new names on our donor wall. There are several people that have been able to be with us today that are dignitaries, and we are happy to recognize them. And first I'll recognize a member of our Board of Trustees, longtime member Dr. Paul Berger. A member of our Board of Trustees has not been in service quite as long as Dr. Berger is George Brown and his wife Helen. Did I give you a doctorate, George? Mr. George Brown, I apologize. We often have visitors from other community college districts, and we had expected, I don't see her, but she's always been in the back, and so I've missed her, so I'll announce it anyway. Dr. Enriqueta Ramos, who is a member of the Rancho Santiago Community College District Board of Trustees and is a Golden West graduate and an outstanding alumni in 1993, and often she comes with her husband Miguel, but I don't think they're here today. We also have Nora Morrison in the vacant seat here, and when she comes I will recognize her. She's a member of our foundation board at Golden West College. We're fortunate to have a wonderful organization, the patrons of Golden West College, and we have some representatives from that organization, Corder Wattenberger and his wife, Barbara. We have the president of the Associated Students of Golden West College, the student body president, Roseanne Kaposha. There are a number of other people that are seated here that have been very active in our fundraising organizations. Kelly, I'd like to recognize him. And many of the others are people that you will see as the program unfolds, and they will be introduced to you. I would like to now take the opportunity to introduce Mr. Wes Bryan, who is our Vice President of Instruction, who will come up and continue with the program. Wes?
Thank you, Ken. It's my pleasure to present to you the Golden Society honorees. They are individuals and corporations who have contributed between $10,000 and $24,999. One more dollar and you go into another category. The plaques are located in the Courtyard of Honor, and the first honoree is to the American Legion Auxiliary Leisure World Unit 327. They're represented by Pat Polson, Vice President, Joanne Neven, Second Vice President, and Donna Parker, their Treasurer. And I'd like these three ladies to stand while I tell you a little bit about their contributions to Golden West. In 1990, President Marie Pitt, along with Betty Dreyer and Sonora Miller, decided they wanted to give a scholarship, and so they contacted Glinda Blackburn, who was then the director of the Golden West College Foundation. These four ladies became friends, and in the addition to the American Legion's continued scholarship here at Golden West, many members of the group became interested and contributed personal funds towards our scholarship program. Thank you very much. Joanne Baum, would I like you to stand? Where is she? Back there. Joanne is a charter staff member at Golden West College. She retired in 1992, but lucky for us, she continues to work here on a part-time basis. She's volunteered countless hours. During her time at Golden West College, Joanne has run the Job Placement Center, served as the secretary for Student Activities Office, and was the administrative assistant for nearly a decade to the Vice President of Student Services. After her retirement, she began working in the college's new media center. In addition to all of those contributions, she's now joined the Golden Society of Donors on the Foundation wall. Kelly Kelly and Kay Mortensen. I'd like you to stand. This husband and wife tandem of Kelly Kelly and Kay Mortensen also have lent both their financial support and hours of time to Golden West College. Kay joined the faculty here just a couple of years ago after the college opened and retiring after 30 years. Her contributions continue in the classroom today. She is still one of our adjunct faculty, and if you're interested in museums or art galleries and tours, you'll want to sign up for one of her classes. Her own paintings and drawings have appeared on numerous occasions in our own gallery. Kelly Kelly has served a number of years on the Foundation's Board of Directors, where he was the chair of the investment committee until 2 years ago when he stepped down. His lists of accomplishments in professional associations is long and impressive. Suffice to say, their participation in our college and your participation in our foundation is missed, but we're glad that Kay still teaches here. Thank you very much. After the ceremony, you may wish to go over and look at the names of people on this donor wall, both the ones that have been added today and those who have contributed in the years before. You'll notice that there are still some open slots on that donor wall. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Lee Eastwood, who is going to continue with the presentations.
Thank you very much, Wes. It's my pleasure to announce that we have 88 new additions to our donor wall. The donor wall, as Wes mentioned, is to my left over here, and the issue that I speak to is the circle of donors on the right side of the Court of Honor. These names that are on the circle of donors are either supporters or individuals or corporations who are either new supporters or who have moved up to a higher category during the year as a result of donations to the college. 5 of the 88 new donor names on the wall are in our honors category, which is $5,000 to $9,999 and probably 99 cents. 15 are our President's Circle listing of $2,500 to $4,999. 10 are in the Scholars Circle of $1,000 to $2,499. And 58 are in the Western Circle of $250 to $999. The donor wall is cumulative. The Western and Scholar Circles have annual nameplates. The President's Circle, the Honors Circle, and the Golden Society have permanent nameplates. The donors are listed in your program. After the ceremony, we encourage all of you to take a minute to visit the donor wall and to observe the names that are listed on this donor wall. And to all of you who have donated, we thank you very much for your generosity and encourage all to support this very remarkable and needed program. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce the third vice president for the college and our newest vice president, Mr. Richard Porter. Richard?
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce Kathy Clary Green, who's a former recipient of the Alumni Pillar of Achievement for 1998. Kathy received the award as a former Golden West College graduate in the nursing program. She has her JDS degree from Pacific Coast University. She is very active volunteer in the community of Huntington Beach, and she's also the wife of Dr. Peter Green, a faculty member at the college. With my pleasure, I'd like to introduce Kathy Green.
Hi. Last year, I was sitting where this year's 4 recipients are seated today. I was both proud and humbled to receive the Pillar of Achievement for Community Involvement from Golden West College. I stood proudly, spoke, and accepted my plaque and certificates. I then returned to my seat and frantically began to plan on how I was going to earn this recognition. My past year has been busy and productive, especially my experience on the grand jury. One event that had a significant effect on me was the death of my good friend Don Watson last month. He was the former city treasurer of Huntington Beach and was the chairman of the board of the Huntington Beach Community Clinic at the time of his death. He had two very different successful careers, and through his volunteerism, he made a real difference in the city of Huntington Beach and Orange County. His funeral, rather than being a sad and somber affair, was a celebration of his life. At his funeral, his teenage granddaughter read a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I'd like to share it with you. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and to endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. I'm so proud of each of the recipients and know they so richly deserve this award. I encourage each of you to consider the wisdom so well articulated in the poem and challenge you to continue on your journey of a life well lived. Now, I'd like to present, our first presenter will be Dr. Alan Giles, Professor Emeritus of Piano and Piano Pedagogy. Alan?
I want to apologize for my shirt sleeves, but I arranged with Harvey Clemens so I would not be the only person up here in shirt sleeves. Christine Hansen appeared in one of my beginning piano classes somewhat more than 10 years ago. She hadn't been there more than 3 or 4 minutes before I realized that she was not a typical beginning keyboard person. She already could play. But in spite of that, she went through every one of my beginning classes, all four sequence of 4 classes, some of them more than once. I wonder what she was doing. And then after that, she appeared in my piano pedagogy class. Pedagogy? And I still wasn't sure exactly what she had in mind, but in that class, I get to know the students fairly well individually. So we had occasion to talk on 2 or 3 occasions. And then she received her certificate in piano pedagogy, and not too long after that, I retired from full-time teaching, and I lost touch. Then I received a phone call a few weeks ago telling me about this event. And I said, oh, that's exciting, exciting. So I called Christine to see what she'd been doing, and you'll be amazed to hear all the things she's doing. She said, she told me this, I had not realized it. Once, when I was talking with her about a paper she had written, and one of the things that in the piano pedagogy class, every student writes a term paper about something that is important to them. In that term paper, she had described my teaching techniques. Wow. So that was what she was doing all those years in the piano pedagogy classes and in the piano beginning piano classes. And during the course of this conversation, I apparently had told her, you know, you write and speak very well. And I didn't think too much about it. This is what I'd seen. And then she told me I changed her life. That she had listened to what I said and had gone out and done the things that she wanted to do rather than things she'd been doing before just to make a living. So she now has been doing the most amazing things, and I expect she's going to tell you some about them. But I want to congratulate Christine on this honor that's been offered to her by Golden West College, and also say one thing to those of you who have occasion to talk to students one-on-one. Be very careful of what you say. They may be listening.
I'd like to thank the foundation for choosing me for such an award. I'd also like to thank Daniel Stephen, whose passion for his painting served as my artistic inspiration. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Alan Giles, who opened up a new world for me and also gave me the skills necessary for my piano teaching business. First of all, I'd like to read a poem that I wrote for the college. Golden West College, a place to build a future where dreams can be awakened. Dreams that will only sleep if you don't bother to make them. Golden West College, a place to learn Shakespeare. To thy own self be true. With its diversity of subjects, a place to find you. Golden West College, career changers, returning or first-time students, we're all here. Where you're not just another number. Golden West College, a place where you matter. Golden West College, a place where you are welcome. Just have a dream. I started here as a teenager, and I did my pre-pharmacy work here. I spent 3 years going through a lot of classes in chemistry, math, science, and I have to say that I found it a very pleasurable experience. There were small classes. Everyone got along very well. It was a good rapport between student and teacher, and it was a college where you felt like you mattered. You weren't just another number like you feel at other institutions. I went ahead and graduated from USC with a doctorate in clinical pharmacy, and right after I graduated, I proceeded to work in a hospital where I helped to institute a clinical program in pharmacy in that hospital. I also lectured in pharmacology to the licensed vocational nursing program, and I also wrote a newsletter describing new drugs to the nurses on the floors. But underneath it all, I've always had a passion for music. I've always been studying piano privately through college and also when I was working as a pharmacist. And I came to a point in my life where I decided I wanted to pursue music full time. So I again came back to Golden West College in the 90s, and I was fortunate enough to enroll in the music program here. And I found, again, the campus to be friendly, a great rapport between students and teachers, and also small classrooms. And again, where you feel like you're not just a number, where you actually matter. I was fortunate enough to enroll in Dr. Alan Giles' piano teaching certification program. And I have to report again that it was a very pleasurable experience. Dr. Giles teaches with charm and wit, and he has very high standards, which I try to achieve. And again, I have to say it was a very pleasurable experience. And it was, as Dr. Giles noted, that he noticed I had a gift for writing, and I went ahead and pursued that. I started taking more classes in writing, and currently I work as a lyricist for 14 composer-arrangers. I recently had one song picked up by a publisher. It just almost made a cut on Jody Messina's new album. And I'm working with people that have placed songs in music and film and have been written up in Billboard, and also with published composer-arrangers. I am in total passion with my work. I love getting up every day and doing what I'm doing. And to me, I'm just at a point in my life where I want my work to mean something, that I really am in passion. So if I can be an inspiration to career changers, I'd like to be that I gave up a very lucrative career to do something I felt I was directed to doing. And so if I can do it, I hope that I can be the inspiration to other people that they can do it too. So anyway, I do want to thank the foundation for choosing me for such an award. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Our next presenter is Stuart Rogers, Associate Professor of Theater Arts. Stu?
What an august group. It reminds me of a story when John Kennedy was entertaining a group of Nobel Prize winners at one of the banquet rooms in the White House. And he said, the last time this room has been filled with such brilliant minds as yours was when Thomas Jefferson used to dine here alone. Pleasure to be back. I have the distinct pleasure to introduce our next inductee. And when I was informed that I had the pleasure to introduce Christine, I thought, gee, this is very, very flattering. And, you know, being one of our past successful students, mega successful. Then I read her resume. And then after reading her resume, I didn't know whether I should salute or hug her. Anyway, I decided that I was going to salute Major Christine Ann McGuire and give her a hug in my heart. She is one of our most outstandingly successful students. News Director, Armed Forces Network, Korea. TV, radio, serving entire peninsula of the Republic of Korea. News Director, on-air anchor for CNN Radio. In charge of international news team that broadcasts throughout Korea, and something that she makes very, very distinct in all of her writings. Very proud mother of a 6-year-old daughter. So with great pleasure, let me introduce Major McGuire.
Seat of honor. You think you're getting off the hook that easy, Stuart? I don't think so. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And literally, probably for the first time in my life, I think I am speechless. I don't think this is a scenario that I'm familiar with, but I'll try to muddle through. We have 2 Christines, so I've gotten inspiration from the first one here. Don't have a poem, but I do have many thanks from the heart. No salutes, but lots of hugs to the people who were here, who spurred me on to greatness, so to speak. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, as I was saying to Stuart, but hopefully one day I'll figure it out. It was a great honor to hear from Margie Bunt and the rest of the administration, the foundation members, members of the organization that made this possible. I really appreciate this honor like you have no idea. When I was here, I was able to take full advantage of the campus, the curriculum, the wonderful staff members and faculty members that were here, because there's just a wealth of information and knowledge to be had, as there still is. I envy the kids that are going here now, your kids, your grandkids, your friends, and family members that will be attending or have attended here, because I have gotten invaluable experience and knowledge from this place that I'm carrying on in life. I've gone from the B movies that I did that are now relegated to the back shelves of Blockbuster Video, thank goodness. I'm not going to run that list down because you don't want to know. But I've been able to experience all different aspects of media in doing commercials and video, and again experiencing CNN radio and meeting with Ted Turner and Christiane Amanpour, and I like to call them friends. But as again, one of the greatest achievements in my life, I think, has yet to be had, and I look forward to that. And again, I couldn't have done it without the support and encouragement of not only the faculty and staff, but the members of my family and friends who made this possible. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Christine. Congratulations. Our next presenter is Harvey Clemens, Professor Emeritus of Art.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Alan, for the permission to take my coat off. I wish you'd gone as far as the tie, though. Since I am Professor Emeritus, so it's now kind of getting used to new clothes. And it's not really quite fair to follow Stu Rogers. Last year, I had to follow Pierre Grimes, and I couldn't understand either one of you. So. But Lynn Morgan has been a friend of mine for over 25 years. She's a fellow artist and also a teaching colleague. But I wish I could take credit for teaching her all that she knows. But she left in 1970, graduated with honors the same year that I came here. But we connected right after that, and we've been friends ever since. She did go to Cal State Long Beach and graduated summa cum laude. And then she worked and got her master's degree too. Then she has taught at Costa Mesa High School and for years, and then was transferred to Santa Ana High School. But that's where she made a world of difference in that school, in that area. But she's now been teaching there for 19 years, and she's now chair of the art department for 18 years. And she has developed the program to a highly visible and esteemed program in the arts. And from her creative and organized classroom and her dedication to teaching, she's made students who have received numerous awards and scholarships, and she's achieved a great deal of notoriety on that. And many of her students have become professional artists too. They're art directors, filmmakers, animators, illustrators, and on and on. In her role as art department chair, she's developed many outreach interactions with the community. Aside from several murals, and we have a book too of her work that we'll have in the reception area, that she's developed many other programs. One is the Arts on the Lawn, which started 8 years ago as just an art show, but now it is a showcase for performing and visual arts known throughout the community. And it's now part of the nationwide Imagination Celebration. The Arts in the City was designed by Lynn to enable some art students to become employed in art-related occupations. So for the last 2 summers, they've interned with professionals in their field, and they've become very knowledgeable as far as becoming a professional artist. Her Images of Dignity project was designed to raise social awareness for the homeless. Her students interviewed, photographed, and helped at rescue centers. We have one of the paintings back here. Then they painted life-size portraits of the people that they met, and these were displayed at the Orange County Courthouse and other sites. In the city of Santa Ana's Art Walk, the students researched and created life-size cutout figures of artists, giants in the art world. You see Vincent van Gogh behind me as one example. Where they did writing, you can see artwork, photographs, and really learned a great deal about artists. Earth Day was a cross-cultural experience by converting an empty classroom into a rainforest. I couldn't bring that with me. It's probably gone. But art students created a mural and artwork. Dance students did native dances. Home ec students made banana bread. And English students wrote poetry about environmental awareness. And they not only raised awareness, but enough money to adopt 7 acres of endangered rainforest in Costa Rica. Lynn has recently been voted Teacher of the Year at Santa Ana High School, and last year was honored with the Distinguished Art Educator Award by the Huntington Beach Allied Arts Board. Along with teaching full-time in high school and as adjunct here, Lynn is an award-winning, published, exhibiting professional artist. She shows her beautiful realistic watercolors throughout California and in Mexico, and have her granddaughters painting over here. I've been fortunate to be in several exhibitions with Lynn, including in our own Golden West Gallery. Not only is she a talented artist and dedicated art teacher, she's a devoted wife to her teacher husband, Marty, a loving mother and grandmother, and a cherished friend. Her words say more than I can, and she's written in her philosophy of art, and she says, I am one of those people who sees things that are too beautiful, too exciting, too large for me to contain within myself. Again and again, I am sustained by the surprise of the miracles of the life, of the amazing transformation that takes place as the sun dances over the colors and textures and forms of our world. The images I choose to paint are images that stop me and catch in my throat. For me, painting is a form of teaching. It's a creative energy exchange. I believe we teach what we need to learn. For the last 25 years, I've also been privileged to participate in this energy exchange in a more formal level by teaching high school and college classes. I've found teaching to be a part of the same creative process and, in itself, an art form. It not only gives me the opportunity to share what I love with others, but to witness and learn from their growth. I'm a teacher and student simultaneously. When I work with another in the spirit of support and cooperation, we both expand beyond our individual limitations. We both become more confident and courageous to respond to life. Life is a growth process. Whether it is painting, teaching, or whatever we're doing, it is all part of the same dance. I'm proud to present my friend, Lynn Morgan.
Thank you, Harvey, and thank you to the foundation. I still remember the first day that I arrived on this campus. I dropped my daughter Joni off at kindergarten, and I made my way to the forum and found myself sitting in this darkened theater it was an art history class, and I think Kay Mortensen may have taught it. And I was transported into a new world. I knew I loved art, and I knew that I had found a place that shared some of those loves. And I have now been teaching for 27 years, and I realize when I look back, the caliber and the intelligence and the caring that goes on at this school was the nucleus for me, and it was the role model for me to go on and to teach. I was able, when I was at this school, to formulate what I wanted to do with my life, what purpose I had. I knew that I liked art, I knew I liked teaching, and I had an instructor say to me, well, you seem to work well with other students. And it just began to come together for me what my goal would be. Because people like Harvey Clemens, who is my dear friend and a role model for me, I knew he is a teacher and he is an artist. So he practices what he preaches. And I decided that's the path that I wanted to take, that I think art can make a wonderful difference in the world. I think we need art desperately. And it is something that I decided I would devote my life as an art educator and a person that is part of the process of good in the world. So I, again, feel very lucky and very honored and very grateful as I did those first days when I came here. I felt like, when I came, I felt like one of the older students. I was walking in very shyly because I was, I think, all of like 25 years old at that time, and I felt ancient. So I feel a lot younger now. And I think art keeps you young, and loving life keeps you young. So I thank everyone. I'm glad I get the opportunity to thank my family for their support, my mother, my daughter, my husband. I thank my friends for all their love and the support, and Foundation. This is a wonderful campus. This was always my favorite place. Going to the four-year college was kind of a shock because I was used to teachers who really interacted, who were right on the cutting edge of things, and I was used to being in smaller classes and with wonderful technology. Golden West was and is just a fantastic campus, and then I sort of had to downgrade a little bit when I went to Long Beach State and went to the 3rd floor of a classroom and sat with a slide projector and having to drink coffee to stay awake during the heat wave so we could watch the upper division art history. And I had John Wordies as a painting instructor. I had so many wonderful teachers that taught me really how to teach and a path in life. I think better, we won't tell the Long Beach State this, than any of those education classes I took. Because I think when you watch someone do it right, you say, you know that. And so as a teacher, I know this is a wonderful place. I recommend it to my students. I think it's a vital part of the community, a very, very important part of the community. I think I totally believe that education and community should work hand in hand, and we're lucky to have this campus. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Congratulations. Our next presenter is Tom Hermstead, Professor of Physical Education.
Well, Alan and Stuart, Harvey, you guys all have something in common that I don't have, and that's you guys retired. And so here I am still standing. Janet Martin Salemi. Janet graduated from the Golden West Cosmetology program in 1977. She then opened Atlantic Studio in Long Beach on Atlantic Avenue in 1979. I first became aware of the name Janet Martin as my mother and wife both enjoyed the services of Atlantic Studio. Because my mom and wife came home looking pretty good, I asked Janet what she could do for me, and her reply was, "Not much, don't waste your money." 10 years later, Janet and her husband of 3 years, Michael, bought a building from Al Greenwood. And Al Greenwood, you know, but he's the bedspread king in Long Beach, and he happens to be here. He's in the pink shirt. She bought that on 4th Street in Long Beach, she and her husband. The building was the original site of Lockyer's Market, where I worked as a grocery clerk in the late 50s and early 60s. Janet and her husband refurbished this building, doing much of the work themselves. They renovated the whole corner, and now Atlantic Studio is the largest salon in Long Beach, employing 32 people. The best part, at any given time, 6 to 10 of those are Golden West College graduates. Janet was instrumental in the revitalization of the 4th Street corridor. The area now is a viable business community, featuring a vintage clothing shop and furniture area, as well as art galleries and an antique clock shop. Connected to Janet's full-service salon. That's where I wish I was right now with all this heat. Is a business called The Portfolio, which is one of Long Beach's first and finest coffee houses. In 1986, Janet and Michael received an award for Long Beach beautification, and in 1998, the Long Beach Heritage Society recognized them for innovations done to the 4th and Wanapero corner. When I was asked to present Janet, because my formal training as an educator is in health and physical education, I asked Jean May, who's sitting right over here, if she knew Janet. After waxing poetic about Janet, she then sent me a note describing what she has done for the Golden West College cosmetology program. She has been a motivational speaker. She's been an advisory committee member. She has judged the program styling competitions, as previously mentioned. She has hired Golden West College graduates. And in May of this year, she served on a panel of salon owners and managers to discuss job placement with our students. In a nutshell, Janet has been a leader in the renovation of an aging area in Long Beach. She is a leader in her industry as to education and innovation. She continues to help Golden West College, serving on the advisory board and hiring our graduates. She is still excited when it comes to working at Atlantic Studio and is passionate, that's the second time I've heard that word today, is passionate in her interest of others. In Janet's own words, the success of Atlantic Studio and each stylist depends on teamwork, dedication, and a love for what we do. It is up to all of us to provide an atmosphere that invites clients in and encourage them to stay with our professionalism, friendliness, product selection, and customer service. It sounds like we could do that at Golden West College, which we do. In the middle of all of this working, renovating, and leading, she is also the mother to 3 beautiful and healthy children. I introduce to you quite a lady, one who loves the past and history of where she lives and works. She is also very much looking to the future as a mother and business owner, Janet Martin Salemi. I kept looking for her over there, and I'm going, where in the Sam Hill is she? And she's sitting over here. Janet Martin Salemi.
Thank you. I'm more comfortable back here, so I can talk to you like this. Actually, usually in this industry, when someone wins an award, we've just presented some really wacky styles that none of you would wear. So at our staff meeting today, I told them what this was and how proud I was to get this, because it doesn't have to do with that part. It has to do with accomplishing things and how important that is. And to have Tom do this is so wonderful, because the Hermsteads have been great supporters of mine all along, so thank you. Because our industry, the hair industry and cosmetology industry, we don't know whether to be proud of it or embarrassed or what, but all of you have gotten your hair done pretty soon, and we did it right here. But because Golden West, when I went there, were so professional, the instructors, and so dedicated to what they did, it sort of made me feel like that. I didn't think I'd just be a hairdresser, and what happened was it turned into something bigger, and now what I feel is I'm helping people find their passion. And if it is in the hair industry, our reputation is you should really start at Atlantic Studio. It's a great place to get a good base education and what the industry is about. And that I'm very proud of. The professionalism that they show their students, anyone that says that they've come to Golden West to get their education almost has a guaranteed job, because we know what they've been through. Then it's my job to lead them to find if that really is what their passion is, because you have to have that. And I'm so glad that my kids are here, because what I want them to know is you have to work really hard and love what you do to make it right in your life. There's a connection coming back here on the advisory board, which I'm really thankful to do, because it brings you back and lets you add to where you started. So thank you for that, and I will continue to do that. And having people read about your lives, it makes it sound better, doesn't it? My favorite saying is, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And different times of my life, there's been many different teachers. And I just hope that I can continue to be the student that's always ready to have them. And thank you so much for nominating me, and it's close to my heart. Thanks.
One of the wonderful things, yes, sir, you can certainly say a word. Okay.
I don't want to intrude on the program, but I'll tell you how I met Janet. She bought my building. And I said to Janet at the time, she was trembling and fearful that, gee, that's such a big building. What the heck am I going to do with that damn building? She had never been done business in a big building. I said, Janet, you have to have goals beyond your reach, just a little bit beyond your reach that you can attain. I said, don't worry about it. You'll struggle here and all that, and you'll find a way to make this successful. And sure enough, she did. she did things with that building really remarkable. And I'm very proud of Janet, the way she did it, too, because she went right ahead and took her gut instincts and produced remarkable results. And, you know, over here in college, you learn semantics and you learn equations and all that. But when it comes to being a success in business, you also have to have gut feelings. You have to feel that, God, that's going to work out real good. I've got a gut feeling right here. It's going to work, you know. And that's what Janet worked on, her gut feelings. And really, I'm very proud of you, Janet. You made your gut feelings work.
His picture is still in the Long Beach Press-Telegram with that hat. Thank you, sir. You know, one of the pleasures of working in the American Community College is these stories, and these events typically occur at all community colleges in the area and across the state and across the country. The community colleges are an institution that have really created a lot of success stories. A lot of people came to community colleges trying to find a direction. Some were young, some were old, and many of them have had powerful success stories as those that we've heard about today. So I think it's important that we attribute a lot of this success to a movement that was created in this country called the American Community College, which is uniquely American. And here in California, one of the earliest community colleges was founded in this state, I think in Fresno, California. Now I would like the 4 outstanding alumni to come up here with me, if they would, please. With all the authority vested in me as the president of the college, I will now install you as a recipient of the Outstanding Alumni Award of Golden West College. And I have a plaque that I'm going to get and present to each of you. Christine Hansen. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Don't sit down, Christine. Don't sit down. One second. Christine Ann McGuire. Lynn Morgan. Janet Martin Salemi. I would like you to stand and give these good folks a round of applause, please. In the community center, we will have a little reception with some goodies, and the community center is on Gothard Street. So when you have time after you visit with your friends, head down toward the community center. It's that way. You'll see some people walking there. Thank you for being here, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.